And if you don't find the spec you're looking for, track me down through Richard, and we'll get it to you.
A couple more questions, and one person is asking, is it recommended to use this kind of equipment for a small internet service provider?
Yeah, I guess I see absolutely no reason that a small internet service provider couldn't use a licensed band radio. The channel coordination, so link planner is very straightforward. You got Richard offering to assist with that. The channel coordination process is very straightforward and can be accomplished. And obtaining the license from the FCC there's a time commitment to it, but it's fairly straightforward to accomplish. So I don't see any reason why not. The nice piece might be the ability to scale on demand. So you can start with 10 megabits of capacity out of the gate, and then as your traffic grows on your ISP or in your network, you can increase the capacity of that link stepwise. So you don't have to make any bigger investment than what is absolutely necessary to meet your immediate needs, and then allow the link to grow with your needs.
And then this one goes back to licensing again. When you buy a license to upgrade throughout, does the pricing include both sides, or do you have to buy a separate license for each side?
No, the license is for a link, as is the coordination service. So you're basically licensing the right to use that slice of spectrum from point A to point B.
Great. One more question here says, can the ODU unit be adapted to the WR127G flange or 6 gigahertz?
Well, we do have a standard flange for direct mount. There are, and I apologize, I don't remember that specific flange nomenclature. We have aligned with Andrew Antennas to provide a high-performance solution. I happen to know that RadioWave also provides antennas with our flange on it. In the case of Andrew, if there's pre-existing antennas deployed, in some cases the existing flange can be removed and a new plate provided to fit the PTP 800 for direct mount. I do have that data, I just don't have it at the tip of my finger. So if there's a specific application or specific inquiry there, if you could shoot me an email offline, I'm happy to answer that. We also offer remote mount kits, so you could take a waveguide and go directly into almost any existing antenna, I would imagine.
The good news is we've had a lot of interest here, and so there's just a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Can the radio be configured in a mode to operate in both polarities to operate on a non-line of sight?
Well, I'll carry the company line here. Again, licensed radios are not intended nor expected to be operated in a non-line of sight mode from a FCC standpoint. So you, not to be the school marm, but you shouldn't be doing that anyway. But to answer the specific question, no. PTP 800 operates on a single polarization. Now, the radio itself can operate at either vertical or horizontal, but it is not a multiple input, multiple output radio. The PTP 600, on the other hand, is multiple input, multiple output, and can operate at multiple polarizations and do the non-line of sight that's being inquired upon.
And someone wants to get to this right away, so they ask about the availability and lead time of the PTP 800, and how long does it typically take to get a license once you have the unit in hand?
Lead times are relatively short. I believe we're quoting 1 week lead times at this point in North America. We carry a fairly significant inventory of compact modems and outdoor units in our customer fulfillment center in Elgin, Illinois. So it's centrally located, and we ship globally out of there. If for whatever reason we have a huge order come in, we do stock inventory at 3 other master distribution centers around the world, and we can rotate stock. So lead times are very short. I can't answer the question on how long it takes to get a license. License coordination is a relatively short period of time, depending on what kind of work is in process and workload is already present at the license coordination service that we provide. You're a week to 2 weeks. I've heard very good things from a variety of different people on cycle time and accuracy of the channel coordination service. I think a good rule of thumb for an end-to-end process is 3 months. But again, just as a rule of thumb.
And just for clarification on Streakwave, Streakwave also works as a stocking company, so we frequently have many of the things that you'll need in stock. So just give us a call and we can help you with lead times as well. A clarification was asked for, can you change frequencies within a band and, for example, use a link for 6 to 12 months during a permanent construction and then move to a new link? And I would think that would have to do with licensing, but why don't you clarify for him?
Richard, can you repeat that question again?
Yeah, he asked for whether or not you can change the frequencies within a band and, for example, use the link for 6 to 12 months during a permanent construction and then move it to a new location.
So let me answer that with two answers. In certain bands, we do bridge, I think what they're referring to is subbands within a band. For certain bands, we do bridge the entire band. And then in other bands, like 11, we have 3 distinct ODU high-low pairs to bridge 11 gig. So it depends on what band you're actually operating in, whether we can change the frequencies being utilized for that particular link. So that's a kind of a waffly answer, but it really is. It just depends on whether you're in 6, 11, 18, or 23, whether we can do that or not. And we can answer that specifically offline with a little bit more detail. You can move a PTP 800 link at any time. You just have to have a license for wherever it is you're moving it to. So the license is not tied to well, I almost said the wrong thing there. When you license a link, you must tell the FCC what equipment you're using for that particular link. However, the license is actually for that point A to point B link itself, not tied to the equipment. So if you move the equipment, you'll have to obtain a new license for whichever path you're now operating it in.
And
did I get it right that time?
I think that sounded clear to me. It is an area that is always in question about how licensing works, and we can always help people offline if they have questions, further questions about that. Somebody asked about the warranty service and service support with these units, and maybe you could just give a little overview on that as well.
Sure. So a couple points there. It comes standard with a 1-year hardware warranty. Software as well. You'd have access to any software updates. For example, we just had a software update that enhanced, gave 2 more dB of EIRP at 18 gigahertz, for example. That would be included, and you could upgrade the radio at no cost. So that's our warranty standard. Now you can purchase through Streakwave extended warranties from Motorola in 1, 2, 3, and 5-year periods, I believe. We also offer an advanced replacement warranty in North America at 1, 3, and 5-year increments. Service would be rotated, if you needed, for whatever reason, there was an event, if you will. The compact modem unit or the ODU itself could be returned to Motorola for repair. What would happen there at a high level is Motorola would inspect the unit. We would contact you with an estimated cost of repair, and then you could make a determination whether you wanted to make that investment or not.
Great. I was asked a couple of times about getting copies of the slides and also a copy or listening to, again, the webinar that you just heard. Both will be available through Streakwave on streakwave.com, and I was asked where specifically. I will tell you that we'll make a reference to it so it's quite visible. I don't know the exact location yet, but you'll be able to see both the slides that we went through today, as well as reference this webinar so that you can listen to it again if there's specific things you want. We're very pleased that there's been a large number of questions and interest. If your question wasn't answered or if there's something additional that you'd like to get to either of us offline, please either contact Scott at Motorola or you can contact me at Streakwave. And we're very happy to have had you today. Scott, is there anything else that you'd like to add for today?
No, I'd just like to say thank you to you, Richard, and to Streakwave for hosting the event. I appreciate the opportunity to share with the audience the PTP 800. Hopefully you and the audience have found it helpful and useful, and look forward to serving your needs.
And we, too, are very pleased to be working with Motorola, and we hope to earn your business. So please give us a call, and we'll sign off for now. Thank you very much for attending.